but I still believe through the pain, through the grief, through the light, through the storm, through the cries, through the wars. Oh, I still believe. Still believe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Fauci Cinema. How's everybody doing tonight? This is going to be episode 4 of the fantastic Foch Monster Cafe, and tonight I am bringing on somebody. He's actually been on the channel a bunch of times, so it isn't like he's new or anything, but my boy, Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. Nick, how the hell are you, buddy?
Trying to figure out the best view here, but I'm all right, man. How you doing?
I'm not doing bad. Not doing bad. I played that song because it's Tim's birthday today. I just found that out a little bit ago. Otherwise, I didn't know that, but I figured why not play it for him. So happy birthday to you. And it's a banger song from a banger movie, so you can't beat it.
Yeah, you cut it off right before the sax solo, though.
Hey, I'll fucking play that song all day. I'll have it in the background. It's already demonetized anyway. I ain't making no money, so
Yeah, I got you.
I don't give a shit. Let's say hello, and then we'll get into this bad boy. What's going on? Boogman, how's it going? Gory Tiger. Brett, what's going on, buddy? Mark Jones, how are you? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Herbert, how's it going? Ashton, what's up? I wish my fucking screen would work, but I can't see, like, the top half of the screen on my Chromebook for some reason, so I'm trying to fucking figure that out as we go along. There we go, finally. All right, buddy. So pretty much just a laid-back type of thing. Obviously, I've done it a couple times now, and I kind of know you a little bit, so I don't really need to go that far deep in talking to you. But so I don't think I've ever asked you this before. What got you started in the YouTube game? Like, what drove you to want to start a channel and talk about movies?
So, I feel like if anybody has like a cool story with this, like I almost feel like they're full of shit because like it never starts off cool. It was 2009, so I was like 13, 14, and I started collecting the Halloween movies in 2006, and by the time 09 came around, I had every movie that had been released up to that point. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 hadn't come out yet. And I was like, I'm gonna make like a video on YouTube of all my Halloween movies because I'd seen so many people do it. I mean, I can't even tell you like how often I would take my mom's quote unquote smartphone, you know, what smartphones were in the late 2000s. Yeah. Like you could get on the internet, but they still sucked. And I would just watch people's Halloween collection videos. Andrew Balina was one of them that I watched. There was a guy, I've never been able to find him since. I feel like the video's gone and his channel is gone, but I loved his collection video. He was from the UK. I could tell by his accent. He had a great collection. So that was the impetus. That it was just like, all right, well, I have all these movies, so like now I want to show it. And I was literally at my buddy Dave's house, like in his mom's work office because she worked from home, and I used his camera, and I was just like, hey, dude, can I do this? He's like, sure, I don't give a shit. So, and then I pumped out like 5 or 6 videos over those 2 nights that I was staying at his house, like, you know, a couple of reviews of Halloween movies too. And then, you know, a couple of years would go by and I'd upload a video randomly. And a couple of years would go by and I'd upload a video randomly. And it wasn't until about a year and a half ago when I actually started to take my channel seriously and like regularly upload. Like when I took my channel back and like actually was like, all right, I need to like actually upload regularly. I only had a few hundred subs. but I have gained like 3,000 over the last year and a half, which isn't huge, but it just goes to show, like, if you continue to do stuff, people start to subscribe. So yeah, that's really how it started, man. I was just a nerd that was watching people show off their Halloween shit, and I was like, well, I got that too. So and now I have an annual series. Like, I do it annually. I do an updated Halloween collection video every year, and every year it gets longer and longer. I think the last one was like over 30 minutes long, and that's just showing physical media. I don't show, posters, shirts, masks, collectibles.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I've spent ungodly amounts of money on those movies. I mean, just like UK versions, Japanese versions, German, like, just because they're cool, like, just because they look cool, and I can't help myself. So yeah, that's really what it was.
Damn. So if you put in all the masks and everything else you have Halloween, you'd have like over an hour long video of just Halloween stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it would be, and I was thinking about doing that this year for my one. When I do it, I usually do it around October. I was thinking about doing that, but we'll have to see. Just because that is a lot of editing, and that is a lot of time to dedicate to that. So we'll see. But yeah.
Okay. So it's a kind of a little bit of a different story. Most of the people I've talked to so far kind of started based around COVID. Locked up, had nothing else to do. Similar to the reason that I started the channel, COVID. I was in the house, watched a lot of YouTube videos, obviously working FedEx, delivering. I'm in my truck all day, so I needed something to listen to. So I figured, why not give it a shot? If those guys can do it, and why can't anybody do it and have a good time? I know it's not about the views, and it's not about, subscriber count and whatnot. It's about passion in what you love. I get it. But you got to start somewhere, and even if it's small, like you said, you were a couple hundred subs. Now you gained over 3,000 within the past year or so. So, just got to keep grinding. That's what YouTube is. It just doesn't come overnight unless you got one of those, gimmick videos or whatnot that fucking blows you up. But
yeah, and I've never been the clickbait video type. Like, I'm not the type that's like, I respect the hustle that some people do, but some of it is just, it doesn't interest me. Like, being a regular news update channel and stuff like that. Like, one, I don't keep up with all of the news enough, and two, it's not something I'm super passionate about. So I don't make clickbaity videos to try to get people to watch my stuff. Like, it literally all is just a passion, and it. I wanted to show my collection because I had been motivated to by watching other people's collection videos, but it was also that I don't know, like, I didn't have a lot of people to talk to about my love for the Halloween movies. And, like, it's, at least in my personal life. So I was like, I'll put it on YouTube, and I'll find people like me. And I've found thousands of people like me. So that's awesome.
I definitely agree there, because before I started the channel, nobody, like you said, in my personal life watches Halloween, let alone loves everything about it, watches all the movies, owns the movies, whatever. So it was cool to start a channel and find others that were similar whenever you kind of thought you were like an outcast, when really you're not. It's just you weren't around the type of people that enjoyed the same stuff as you. So I think that's another cool aspect about starting a channel as well. Obviously, huge Halloween guy. We talk about Halloween all the time. But what would be, I guess I'm not going to say your favorite franchise because it's Halloween, but what would be your second favorite horror franchise if you had to pick one?
Man, this is hard. And I don't know. I did a ranking video like a year ago on this, and since then it changes. It's all over the place all the time. Most people would say that it's Friday or it's Nightmare, because those are the big three. It might be Nightmare. I can tell you one thing, it's not Friday. I love a lot of the Friday movies, but I don't know. The Friday movies never hit me the way that Nightmare and Halloween did. So I would say it's a, damn. Oh man. I would say Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Evil Dead are like fighting it out for number 2. And I just, on the spot, I don't know, but like, gun to my head, I might pick Scream. But then tomorrow I might pick Evil Dead, and then I'd pick Nightmare. So like, I don't know, man. I love, but those ones are the ones that are like, most near and dear to my heart for sure.
Mhm.
Much more than Friday. Much more than Friday. And that's not to say again that I own all the Friday movies. Like I love the franchise, but I just feel like the highs of those other series are higher than Friday ever reaches for me. Like Freddy's Revenge, Dream Master, Dream Warriors, those movies fucking rule. And then like Evil Dead is a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. And then Scream, even though I changed my tune over the last year. Scream 3 is no longer my least favorite. Scream 4 is. And
Me
even
too.
then, Scream 4 is passable. It's not bad, but that franchise is pretty much all hits and no misses too. And some people, I'm sure you hear it too. Some people will say it's a generational thing. Oh, well, you like that franchise just because you're younger and blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Halloween, the oldest of all of those franchises, is my favorite. But go off, like that doesn't. It's not. And also, Evil Dead, started in '81. Like, no, it's not a generational thing why I like Scream so much. I just think they're really enjoyable movies.
They are.
I think that a lot of horror franchises can't really match up to the quality that Scream has front to back. So, yeah,
I'm right there with you. I'm not an Evil Dead guy, really at all. Besides the remake in 2013, if you want to call it a remake, whatever you want to call
Evil
it.
Dead Rise yet?
I did not see it yet, so
Flack, and I saw it twice.
I haven't seen it. I talked a big game. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see it, and then I was just like, I just don't have the fucking urge to go see it, to be honest.
If you
And
liked 2013, you will like this one.
That's what I heard. I heard it's more of along those lines. I just haven't seen it yet, and at this point, it comes out on VOD, I think May 9th, I think.
Yep.
So I'll probably just watch it on there, to be honest, at this point. And for some reason, my theater in my town didn't even advertise the movie. They didn't have a poster for it anywhere. They didn't have shit. So it wasn't one that they were highly promoting. They had a bunch of other goofy fucking movies out in the poster room. But I do want to see it. I've heard mostly good things about Evil Dead Rise. I saw a couple people say that it wasn't that good, but those were the people that really prefer Evil Dead 1 and 2. So, I mean, I guess I could see where they're coming from.
I don't know, Matt. Evil Dead 2 is my favorite, and I loved Evil Dead Rise. So, I think it's more, I don't know. I think a lot of the people that I've seen not really be that big on it are people that are, I need Ash Williams in my Evil Dead movie.
Okay.
And I'm just not like that anymore. Like Evil Dead 2013 proved to me, I know he has a cameo in the credits, but it proved to me you do not need him to make these movies work. You need the book, you need great makeup effects, you need gnarly over the top kills, and great camera work. And Evil Dead Rise has that too. So I think both of those movies work just fine without him.
Really want to see it. Hopefully very soon I will be. I just rewatched Scream 6 for the second time. I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater, and I did enjoy it seeing it in the theater, but watching it a second time, I really, really enjoyed it more the second time. I knew everything that was coming. It was a blast.
The third act it goes down a lot easier the second time you watch it. I watched it last week when it came out on Paramount Plus, the day it came out. Actually, I went and saw Evil Dead Rise for the second time, and then got home from the theater and watched Scream 6 for the second time. And man, Scream 6, that movie is a banger. That movie holds up so well. It is damn good.
After first watch, I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. So, I mean, it wasn't like terrible or anything, but after second watch, I'll probably bump it up to about a 4.5 out of 5. Like you said, the third act was a hell of a lot more easier to digest. I knew what I was getting. I kind of appreciated the ghost faces more watching it the second time than watching it the first time, and just really, really hoping that one of those was going to be Stu, even though deep down I knew it wasn't. But they took them off, and I was like, okay, these guys, it's fine. Second time, I enjoyed it. I liked the third act a lot. I liked Bailey. I thought he was giving off mad, like, Mickey vibes, for sure. Kind of the way he was using his dialect and voice. Even Quinn was fine. She wasn't bad. I liked her. And I can never get is it Ethan or Evan?
Ethan.
He wasn't bad either. I didn't mind him.
I think the reason that a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, the second time I watched it, the third act I was able to accept it so much easier," is because I think people were expecting, like you said, whether it's Stu or whether it's this like big emotional payoff, very serious, like people were expecting that, but it's not like that. It's very Scream 2. It's very zany and over the top and goofy, and that was kind of jarring for people the first time they saw it. But then I think when you watch it again and that's coming, you can enjoy it more because you're like, okay, no, this isn't the super serious ending. And
No.
I like that. That's fun. Like Scream 3 has a very serious third act with it being
does.
a familial connection. And it's very like, I was behind everything. Like that's a big deal. And this one is very zany and wacky.
Cody, bring up a good point. Melissa Barrera was a standout star. I loved her. I loved her in Scream 5, but she really killed it in Scream 6. And that was going to be my next question for you. Obviously, we might get, if they do a Scream 7, it wasn't greenlit yet, if I'm not mistaken yet. But I guess to wrap it up, maybe, do we need Sidney back? Or did Melissa Barrera just kill it so much that we don't need Sid back ever?
After going into Scream 6, I had the mindset of, I still think this movie's going to be good, and it was great. But I was like, this movie I think is going to be fine without her, but I think you need her back for 7. After watching 6, especially the second time, I didn't miss her. And that's crazy to say because she's my favorite final girl. But it worked perfectly fine without her. It really, really did. She would have felt shoehorned in there. She would have. Why? So what got her to come out of not hiding, but seclusion in Scream 5 was one of her best friends, Dewey, was murdered. That was personal.
Yeah.
What was going to get her to come out in Scream 6? Nobody that died in that movie had any real connection to her. What, after Annika fell off the ladder, was Sidney going to go, oh my God, Mindy's girlfriend died? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She would have felt kind of shoehorned into that story. So I didn't miss her in the movie, and it would have been an injustice to her character, I think, to bring her along. Now, having said that, I think that 7 can work without her. I really do. And if she is not a part of 7, it'll tell everyone right now there's going to be no connection to Stu Macher or his family or anything like that if she's not in it. But if she's in it, that's still a possibility. I don't think it'll be Stu. I think it'll be maybe his sister or something like that. But at the end of the day, I want her back in it because I want a final big epic conclusion for Sidney Prescott. 5 was a good send-off for her character, but it wasn't this epic conclusion that was like, oh shit. I want somebody that was behind it the whole time. I want somebody that has a personal connection to Sidney. So, do they need her? No. But do I want her? Yes. I guess that's my answer.
Okay. I did have a question for you from Goodrail. He said, Melissa Barrera or Alyssa Sutherland?
Based off of Rise and Scream 6, Alyssa Sutherland, just because what she and oh man, even people that didn't like Evil Dead Rise have all given Alyssa Sutherland her flowers and been like, she was phenomenal, she was incredible, and she was. And I give the edge to her, and that's not to take away from Melissa Barrera, because I've openly talked about, was not a huge fan of her in Scream 5. I actually was really not at all. And then Scream 6, she blew me away. I was like, holy shit. She was so good. But I give it to Sutherland simply just because she had to literally change everything about herself, physically, mannerisms, how she spoke. She became a fucking demon, and she did it so well. Even better than Mia did it in 2013. And I thought Jane Levy was awesome as a Deadite. But Alyssa Sutherland is just God tier. So when it comes to Deadite performance, she's my favorite Deadite in the series. Her and Henrietta from Evil Dead 2 are the best Deadites. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Alyssa Sutherland. But they were both phenomenal.
All right. Blu-ray Addict says they should go back to Hollywood for Scream 7.
I have a feeling they're going to go back to Woodsboro.
Me too.
And I'm okay with that. It doesn't really bother me much. I mean, most Scream movies, like, you know, after they did what they did with 2 and 3, they went back to Woodsboro, and 4,
Yep.
and then 5 took place in Woodsboro. So the bulk of them take place in Woodsboro. I'm okay with that. Unless they unless they're still in school, which I'd be okay with revisiting New York. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. You'd have to make it believable for why they would be in Hollywood and so quickly too. So yeah.
Right after. Cody says Melissa Barrera is hot. I trust her. There you go. She is pretty hot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
That brings, I guess. So, I mean, everybody loves Jenna Ortega, obviously, but in Scream 6, who was better, Jenna or Melissa?
Melissa, 100%. Jenna's a better actress. Don't get me wrong, but I thought Jenna was better in 5 than she was in 6. She's not bad in 6 at all, but I just don't. I don't know. Like I don't know what it was. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was just as good as she was in 5, but she was overshadowed because Melissa Barrera took it to an entirely new level. Like I never forget what I always think about when I think about Melissa Barrera in Scream 5 is when she runs down the hospital hallway to the officer and she's like, he's trying to kill me. And like after the attack in the waiting room or the break room, and I'm like, that line delivery is so bad. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, and then to go from that to 6, where she's just the only thing I didn't like about Melissa's character in 6 wasn't even her fault. It was a writing decision. The putting on the robe and the mask is like, even though literally she takes it off right after and says, I'm not my father. Like, so then what the fuck was the point? Like, it was just kind of corny, but that's not her fault. That's a writing decision. Melissa was better than Jenna in this movie, I think.
Okay. I agree on that as well. So what would be like, what is a horror franchise that you never got into? None of the movies worked for you. More bad ones than good, and you just kind of stay away from it.
Oh, it's Leprechaun. That's the first one that comes to mind, man. The original Leprechaun is not a classic, but it's fun. The second one has its moments, and the third one has its moments. But out of even with the first one, I would not say any of those movies are good. Like, I just would not say I think those first 3 have redeemable qualities, and they're guilty pleasures, and they have their moments. But like on the whole, they're low budget, they're kind of cheesy, they're kind of corny. Some of the jokes don't work. You know, it's so. And then after that, it is a fucking hellscape of movies. Like, it is just awful. Christian tried to say that he liked Leprechaun 4, and then we talked about it on the podcast, and he was like, yeah, it's you know, I was kidding. It's really not good. No, there's just, and I know there's people that have a lot of love for that series, so do not let my opinion on that color yours in any way. I just could never get into it, man. Never. I love Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun, though. I think he's awesome, but even with him in the shitty movies, he cannot save those shitty movies. Like, he just can't.
No, they're pretty bad. I mean, I own them, but that was just to have them because I've had it for about 2 years now, and I haven't watched one of them. So, not really something I want to revisit, to be honest. I watched the original one the other day. It was fine. I agree with you, though. I don't think it's a classic by any means. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's corny and it's cheesy and it's hokey, and it is what it is. You know, it's fun. It's fun, but it's not good. Like, it's not good. I could never. There's certain movies I cannot go to bat for that I'm just like, yeah, this is a good movie, man. You guys are missing it. Like, no, it's not.
Let's see the chat. We got some Leprechaun, Wrong Turn, Puppet Master, Hellraiser, Children of the Corn.
Oh, no, I will not. Oh, I would agree with Children of the Corn. Yeah, for sure. But I will not stand for the Hellraiser slander. I will not stand for it. I love that franchise. I will agree, a lot of those direct-to-video sequels are fucking abysmal. But those first 4 movies and the reboot are just
Solid.
chef's kiss. Oh yeah, I mean, I could watch Hellraiser 1, 2, 3, or Bloodline and Hellraiser 2022 any day of the week. I think all 4 of those movies are damn good movies. Or all 5 of those movies. Inferno is an interesting story, but it's not Hellraiser, and so it falls flat. Hellseeker is a pile of shit, and I don't know why Ashley Lawrence came back for that because it was just fucking awful. Deader is interesting. Deader is a really interesting story until the 3rd act when it completely falls apart, when they just forced Pinhead and the Cenobites in there, and you're just like, what the fuck? Hellworld is your early 2000s schlocky B movie slasher. Like it's got a decent cast. Henry Cavill's in it.
Really?
Yeah, it gets a blowjob. Yeah, and by a demon, I think. I can't. Yeah, well, it's in. I'm not gonna spoil it, but so like it's. Lance Henriksen's in it too. It's just super schlocky and dumb, but it's fun. But it's not good. Revelations is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Ever. And Judgment, you know, we had the opportunity to interview Gary Tunnicliffe, the director of Hellraiser Judgment, and the makeup effects guy that's started working on the Hellraiser movies with part 2 and did every movie after that on the podcast. And, you know, Judgment it's cool. It's interesting for what it is. It was just really hampered by its budget, and you know but I liked a lot of his ideas, and it's really fucking gross. If you've never seen Hellraiser Judgment, the first 10 minutes you'll be like, oh my god, this is nasty, but it's enjoyable. And then 2022, I think that movie just rocks. Like I really do. I think that movie rocks.
I seen a lot of love in the chat for that movie. I thought it was good, but I'm not a really big Hellraiser guy either. So, it was all right. It wasn't terrible. I just rewatched.
Well, that Christopher Young score is one of the things that does it for me. I love the Hellraiser theme. It is right there with Halloween and Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. That's like my favorite themes in horror. That theme is incredible. Anytime I hear that theme, I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
It is good. Halloween's always number 1 for me, but it is good. What would be, you know, what's a horror franchise to you that's kind of like slept on? That you it'd probably be Hellraiser, I guess. Would probably
Hellraiser. Oh yeah, that'd be my first one. I really do think that one is slept on. I think that people know the first one. I mean, it's an acquired taste. Like I get it. Like, Hellraiser it's like sadomasochism, and like, you know, it's these like demons that border on like sexual pleasure and pain and like, you know, like, and it's pretty gory, and so like I totally get that it's an acquired taste, but there's just something about that taste that I don't know. It just really it intrigues me. It does. Not because I'm into that shit, because I'm not, but it's just so different to see in horror. I mean, Saw is very like, quote, I hate the term torture porn, but so I guess that's kind of the closest thing in modern day that you can get to that. But yeah, Hellraiser is something different, man. That shit slaps.
Speaking of Saw, aren't we getting Saw X in October?
Yeah, Socks. SAWX, Socks.
Socks. It's gonna be banging.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped. I really am pumped. People that are privy to the movie and have seen dailies and read the script have said that it's going to be really good, and it's going to be, if you're a fan of the first 3 movies, you're going to love this movie. So sign me the fuck up, because I would say the first 4 Saw movies I think are like banger after banger. So can't wait. 5 was really when they started to fall off, and then they kind of saved themselves with 6. 6 was like, oh, this is pretty good. Then the final chapter was like, this is kind of shit, but it's like fun. And then Jigsaw was like a chicken abortion. Like I don't even I fucking hate Jigsaw. I think that movie sucks. And then Spiral, cool attempt at something new, but it's not Saw. It's not. Like, so yeah, I'm very happy to go back to the John Kramer, Amanda Hoffman type shit. That's what I want. That's Saw to me.
I dug Spiral. I didn't think that I would. I didn't get to see it when it was in theaters. But as soon as it came out on Blu-ray, I bought it. I really liked it, but that might be because I'm a sucker for Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. So, I mean, everyone else, they kind of were like, yeah, I knew who the killer was in 5 seconds. And I was like, man, I didn't. But everybody says they know who the killer is in every single movie. So good for them, I guess.
I just didn't like the Kermit the Frog voice. Like
Detective Banks.
Hello, Detective Banks. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. What are you, fucking Patrick Mahomes? Like, stop it. Yeah, no.
That's who it was. It was fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No wonder you fucking hated it.
Not a big fan.
Either am I. He beats us every year, twice a year. Yep. Not to the no. Speaking of the draft, good job. I heard you guys did a great job on your draft. I saw you got like an A+ grade, so good for you guys. Yeah,
we killed it. I cannot wait for this year. We will definitely be back in the playoffs, so I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be exciting. But yeah.
So will we, if Russell Wilson plays football.
Yeah, that's really all you got to wonder about.
Because everybody else is pretty good. Aaron Click says, what standalone horror films of the last 20 years or so are some of your favorites?
The House of the Devil, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, Trick or Treat. Although I don't want it to be standalone. I want a sequel, and I have wanted it for 15 years.
Was that a rumor? Or is it really coming out? I heard there was like a Trick or Treat.
It's been announced multiple times, and then
nothing.
Yeah. But Michael Dougherty said last year that it's in active development, so we'll see.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those are some of the ones that come to mind. But yeah, The House of the Devil, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Trick or Treat, I think, are some of the ones that come to mind first for me. And Hereditary. Hereditary, I think I love Hereditary.
I do not, and that's okay. And I also don't like. This is gonna sound kind of weird too, but I don't like Trick or Treat for some reason. I just don't. I don't.
Hey man, not everybody can have taste. It's all right.
I've watched it multiple times. I just never get into it for some reason. I don't know what it is.
There's another one that I just thought of too. God, brain fart. Where did it go? We were talking about Hereditary. Oh, Get Out. Get Out, I think, is fucking awesome. I think that movie is awesome. I'm the type of person that when a movie gets a lot of hype, I won't see it sometimes because I'm like, there's no way it can be as good as people are saying. And Get Out was that type of movie, and that movie fucking ruled. And Hereditary was the same one. Oh, there's no way it can be as good as people are saying. And I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, holy shit balls. Like that movie. Yeah, that movie ruled. So.
I don't know. I watched Hereditary and I was just like, I just don't get it. But that's fine. That's fine. It's not for everybody, so it's cool. I would House of the Devil, surprisingly, actually really do like that movie. Thought that was really good. So even though it is a slow burn, I like it.
You shouldn't be surprised. It's Ty West. All he does is make bangers. That's all he does.
But once again, you may be right on me not having any taste because I wasn't the biggest fan of X and I didn't like Pearl at all. So just saying.
Yeah. Wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm using my phone, so I had to reply to something.
No, you're good.
So did you like X though?
I did like X.
Okay. See, Pearl I can understand.
It was a little slow.
Pearl, yeah, it's very different. It's like a throwback, like Technicolor phase type. It's deeply an emotional horror movie. It's not like a horror movie that you but I enjoyed Pearl a lot, and I think that Mia Goth is phenomenal, but X is more of my style. Boobies and blood and guts, like I'm about it, and a great score, but and soundtrack. But Maxine, that's why I'm so excited for Maxine, because it's gonna be more like X, because it's a sequel to X, and it's taking place in the 80s in Hollywood, in the boom of the porn industry. So I literally can't wait. I think that movie's gonna rule.
Okay, so being the fact that it's in the 80s alone, probably will put that one above X and Pro for me. Just
for their teaser announcement video, the song that was playing was "Obsession" by Animotion, which is a fucking awesome '80s song. So I was like, oh God, yes, I cannot wait for this movie. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Blu-ray Addict says The Witch was great. I dug The Witch. I would have liked a better ending to really send it home, but I did dig it. I dug it. The only thing I remember about the ending was the naked girl floating into the sky.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and that was.
I understood it. Like I understood it, but I was just like, I totally get what you're going for, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like a lot of this movie was about playing on like, will they or won't they? Is this real? Is that like, is this, it was a lot of theater of the mind kind of stuff. And then the ending was just kind of like, wait, what the fuck? One that I will not get behind though, and I know a lot of people love this movie, so I know I'm in the minority, but Midsommar, God, that movie's a pretentious piece of shit. Like Ari Aster, and it doesn't surprise me that his latest movie, Beau is Afraid, is getting super polarizing reviews, and people are saying it's pretentious and it's this and that. I'm like, yeah, go figure. He made Hereditary, got a really big head after Hereditary, made Midsommar, which I thought was like literally just watching that movie. I'm like, this director is in love with himself. Like he thinks that he is like so creative and unique. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to make a horror movie set completely during the day. And I'm going to make it 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Like, dude, go, like, please fuck off. And so, like, yeah, as much as I loved Hereditary, he has no goodwill with me. None, because I was bored to tears with Midsommar. And don't anybody come at me saying I didn't understand it or I didn't know what they were going for or yada, yada. No, I did, and I do, and I did not like it.
I did think it was boring, but I also couldn't stop laughing because some of the stuff was just so funny. When they fucking fell off the cliff and then he didn't fucking die, so they hit him with a hammer. Oh, my God. It's fucking rough, dude. And then he's in the bear suit and he's on fire. I thought that was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. I don't think that's what they were going for, but
like our idea of horror in this is that we'll see a bunch of old people naked and we'll trip balls and like I'm just like it was dumb.
And the sex helping scene, I couldn't stop laughing when they're pushing that dude in. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, just again, no thanks on that movie.
Not a fan. I would have to. Well, I mean, it had a sequel, but I'm gonna go with Sinister because I'm gonna pretend the second one doesn't exist. Sinister was fantastic, probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
I don't know why you would do that. The second one's better, but go off.
No, it's not.
I like it better.
I don't think I've heard anybody ever say that until right now.
Christian feels the same way.
Really?
Yep.
I couldn't stand the second one.
You want to know why I think it's better?
Why?
Because it actually focuses on the kids, which is what Bughuul is after. And that's what Sinister is about. And Ethan Hawke is great in the first movie, but focusing on Ethan Hawke when Bughuul is trying to corrupt and steal the children kind of was like, okay, but what if I see this from the child's point of view? So Sinister 2 gave me that. And that's why I liked it more. I was like, I'm getting to see the corruption of the children. And then the whole like total fucking wackadoo moment that you don't see coming is really like, we didn't want you anyway. We wanted your brother this whole time. And it was like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I dig the shit out of the second one.
Maybe I got to rewatch it. I've only ever seen Sinister 2 once, so maybe I need to give it a rewatch. Let's see. A lot of people have never seen Sinister 2. What else we got? Byron wants to know, how was Knock at the Cabin?
Never saw it.
Never saw it. I saw it. It was fine. It was
Christian hated it, so I
mean, like Batista, but that was about it. Ethan Hawke, dude. Yeah, Ethan Hawke Training Day. That's a fucking banger of a movie. Training Day is good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So, other than horror, what other kind of genres you like to dive into? Action, comedy, what you got?
Yeah, I'm a big action guy. I like comedy a lot too. Like I know this isn't a popular thing to say or a way to feel, but like I've always had a soft spot for the Transformers movies. I enjoy all of them, actually. The Daniel Craig era of James Bond are some of my favorite action movies ever. And Daniel Craig is James Bond. I love the Mission Impossible movies. I like a lot of action movies. I really do. I have a lot. I would say I have a lot of action movies like that I own. And then comedies. My comedy taste kind of ranges all over the place. I can find a lot of things funny, but the kind of comedy I normally go for is movies like Hangover movies, Seth Rogen type comedy. Like those are the types of comedies I go for.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. I've never seen a James Bond movie.
Dude, you are selling yourself short, especially with these most recent ones. Mission Impossible Fallout, the last one, and Dead Reckoning Part 1 comes out this July, and I can't wait. Mission Impossible Fallout's one of the greatest action movies I've ever seen, and the Daniel Craig era of James Bond has some of the better ones. With you've got Skyfall, Casino Royale, and No Time to Die in his era. He had 5 of them, but those 3 particularly are like also some of the greatest action movies I've ever seen. So yeah, the fact that you haven't seen them, you are definitely selling yourself short.
Yes, Blue Raddick hasn't seen one either, so I'm not alone. All right.
A Bond movie?
Yep, that's what he said. Never seen a Bond movie.
Jesus Christ! I mean, there's like 26 of them, I think, and I've
holy shit.
But I'm only really a fan of the Daniel Craig ones. A couple of the Pierce Brosnan are okay, but Daniel Craig is really where it's at.
I can't even give you. No, yeah, I can. I was gonna say I can't give you even the last action movie I've even seen, but it would I don't even know if it counts. I'd probably be Bumblebee. Actually, it's probably the last one I watched. The Transformer one.
Hey, Bumblebee's good. I like Bumblebee. It has a lot of heart. It's not as action packed as the other Transformers movies, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I like it.
It was a first time watch. I've never seen it before. I saw the cover and I was like, I don't know if I want to watch that. It was good.
I'm gonna see Rise of the Beasts, the new Transformers movie, when it comes out with my buddies. I used to go see all of them. My buddies Kyle, Phil, and Dave. We're gonna go see this one together too. And if it's like kid friendly enough, I'm thinking about taking my son. But you never know with the trend. That's why I want to see it first, because I'm like, some of the Transformers movies have some pretty suggestive humor and like, stuff like that, where I'm like, I don't know if like a 3.5-year-old really needs to see that. But if it's more family friendly, like Bumblebee was, then I have no problem taking him to it. So,
and no shame in liking the Transformers movies. I freaking loved those bad boys when they first came out, especially the Shia LaBeouf ones. 1 and 2, I really dig.
Oh yeah, I dig them. I dig them.
Dark of the Moon was all right, but that was probably my least favorite of the first 3.
I like them all.
And then what did we get into? Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah, Cade Yeager. Age of Extinction is actually my favorite one, the 4th one.
I think I fell asleep to that one.
It is like 3 hours long, so I can see it.
I definitely fell asleep to that. What was after that? The Last Night? The Last Night, yep. Okay, and then Bumblebee was after that.
Yep, Bumblebee. Yep.
And then this one technically goes back to what, like 1993 or something like that?
It's a sequel to Bumblebee. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely want to check it out. It looks good.
Yeah. But hey, man, I don't mean to cut you short.
No, you're good.
I do gotta go. So
you're good.
I don't know if you noticed, I had to like get up and rearrange.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Again, thanks for bringing. Like, let's do this again where I have more time.
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. These things usually only go about 40, 45 minutes anyway, and we're at 45 minutes right now. So.
Oh, cool. Well, hell yeah. I'm glad I didn't have to cut you short then.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, buddy. I appreciate you coming on, and definitely have to hook up when you got more time. We can definitely shoot some more shit. I enjoy it every time. So thank you for coming on and hanging out for a little bit, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you on my channel next time. I haven't had you on the channel yet, so I'm gonna bring you on.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right. Well, everybody watching, thank you. If you guys haven't checked out my channel, check it out. It's the same as my name right there, The Lost River Driving. Matt, again, I appreciate it, man.
No problem, buddy.
Don't be a stranger.
I'm never am, buddy.
All right.
See you, man.
See you.
All right, everybody. That was Nick, Lost River Drive, and all of his contact information will be down in the description box. Really easy to find, the Lost River Drive-In on YouTube. So, I mean, I can still hang out if anybody got any other questions for sure. I mean, 45 minutes, I got some time. If anybody wants to shoot the shizit for a little bit, I am down for that. I'm trying to think what else is coming up on the channel. Hopefully next week, I will be jumping back in with Chad, and we will be doing more of our Behind the Mask podcast remake tournament. So that was a good time. What else I got coming up? Me and Destiny will be watching Zombievers for our first time watch for both of us. So definitely interested in seeing that. That's going to be a fun first time watch. Anytime Destiny's on the channel, it is definitely always a killer time. Me and Brett will be doing Watch Until You Drop at the end of the month. We will be bringing on Mel from My Killer Podcast. Super cool chick. Love her 80s aesthetic she got on her channel. Part of the Rad Pack with Justin and Garrett. She'll be on, and we are going to be doing a watch along to the 80s classic, my favorite vampire movie of all time, The Lost Boys. So let's fucking go. I got my well, you can't even see it. Got my Lost Boys earring in. I'm ready to go. I am ready to go for sure. The Black Phone. Yeah, I saw they're going to be getting a sequel. I'm kind of confused at how that's going to go. I don't really see how that makes too much sense, to be honest. He's dead unless they're going to be doing a prequel to The Grabber. You know, a prequel showing out who he is exactly. Or maybe a prequel going into each, you know, maybe one of his victims, that particular story. But that kind of seems a little bit, I don't really know if we need a whole movie, you know, to explain one kidnapping. So, going to be interesting. I was a huge fan of The Black Phone. It was my favorite movie of 2022. So, I'm definitely excited. Blu-ray Addict says, watch any good movies lately? What did I watch? I was trying to go back over all my remakes. Besides rewatching Scream 6, I watched, let me see. I kind of haven't been watching as many movies as I'd want to recently. I watched The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I watched that the other day. I watched The Blob from 1988 for the first time. I rewatched The Hitcher remake from 2007. And I watched Night of the Living Dead, the remake from 1990, starring the fabulous Tony Todd for the first time. So definitely a lot of first-time watches for this new tournament, the next bracket coming up. So, you know, excited to see which one's going to come out on top. Mark Jones over across the pond. Can't believe you're still up over there, buddy. I appreciate you hanging out tonight. What is your favorite horror movie? You know, I don't know if I want to drop this bombshell. But my favorite horror movie of all time has always been the original Halloween. And, you know, it's always going to be up there for me. But I'm kind of feeling that a movie, particularly over my shoulder right here, is kind of inching its way up to my favorite horror movie of all time. Scream from 1996, I absolutely adore. I love everything about it. I love the characters. I love the actors that are portraying them. I love the soundtrack. Ghostface himself, I love it. I love, you know, Sydney. I love the friend group. Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, fucking Dewey Gale. You cannot go wrong. It's why it's so hard for me. I think they're just going to be 1A and 1B, if I'm going to be honest. Halloween 78 and Scream, the original for sure, are up there. I need to get a Lost Boys shirt, Herbert. I do. Ashton, yeah, I agree. The Black Phone is a great standalone movie. I don't really know if we need another one. Blue Radic says The Lost Boys and Near Dark are my second and third favorite vampire film. My favorite film is From Dusk Till Dawn. I actually did a watch along on the channel for that. That was my first time watch on Behind the Mask podcast. I really enjoyed it. It was good. I had a good time. Yes. Yes, Blu-ray Addict for sure. The Hitcher remake gets a lot of hate, and I don't understand. I watched the original, and I really wasn't the biggest fan. I don't know if I saw it too late. I didn't think it was that great. I know Rutger Hauer's fine. He's good. I just really like the remake a lot. I think Sean Bean nailed it. I think it was great. I love Sophia Bush. Maybe that's a huge reason why that I like it. You know, she's very sexy. Byron, did you know that Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton were supposed to make a Halloween movie? I did not. Before Blumhouse got the rights. Interesting. I know a lot of people want Halloween to rest, but I'm fine if it comes back. If another studio picks it up, I don't care. I'm always down for a Halloween movie, TV show, whatever they want to do. I am down for it. I'll tell you that right now. I am down for it. Let me see. Mark Jones wants to know, am I a fan of the Fright Night films? Well, where are you, you beautiful thing? Absolutely love the original. I am a sucker for these steelbooks, and I keep buying them, and my wife keeps getting mad. But I love it. I love the steelbooks, and I love Fright Night. But then again, I buy steelbooks that I'm not even a huge fan of. So I just like to have them in my collection. I think they're really nice. Another thing I like to buy, just got this. New logo, brand new shirt. Absolutely love it. It looks so clean, so 80s, so retro. I'm really feeling it. I hope you guys are really digging the new logo that I created. I really love the hell out of it, to be honest. Definitely love it the most out of the ones that I've had so far, and I don't plan on changing it. I'll tell you that for sure. I was just so glad to get this in today so I could wear it tonight with you guys. Yeah. Coming up next on my next episode of the Fotch Monster Cafe, I am going to bring on Christian from Planet CHH. So he will be joining me on the next episode. I don't know when that'll be yet. I have to talk to him about that. Like I said, we got a bunch of cool stuff. I also got a new Nightmare watch along coming up to support Cecil Laird and Robert the Wolfman for their upcoming Nightmare on Elm Street fan film, Dylan's New Nightmare. Might have Dave McRae dropping by on that one as well. And maybe, if he can fit it into his schedule, maybe Miko Hughes might be joining us for that watch along. Stay tuned. As of now, tentatively scheduled for May 21st at 7 p.m. It's a Sunday. Stay tuned for that. If I can get Miko on, that is going to be badass. But either way, I'm looking forward to chatting it up with Cecil and Robert. And by the way, obviously the campaign has launched for It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 from Dave McRae. Everybody, go support it. The first one was fantastic. Had Dave on the channel about a year or so ago when we did the live watch along on the channel. Me, James, and Dave watched It's Me, Billy. Dave has always been a very cool guy when it comes to coming on the channel. I've had him on a couple times now. Definitely looking forward to collabing with him in the future. He's just an all-around cool dude. He's just so smart and intelligent. He knows so much about the industry, about horror, and he's a great film director. It's Me, Billy. Him and Bruce knocked it out of the park, and I think Chapter 2 is going to do the same thing, so go support it. It's on Indiegogo live right now. They would greatly appreciate it. I guarantee it. Aaron Click, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Everyone hit the like button. I do appreciate it. Talk about this all the time. I'm not the biggest channel. I don't get the biggest amount of views. I don't have a bajillion subscribers, but the people that do support me and subscribe, really do show up and make me feel, makes me feel that there's a purpose for me doing this. Yes, it makes me feel good to talk about movies. Yes, it makes me feel good to interact with my guests in the chat, but it's awesome that people show up. I know everybody wants to see, get those, Wham numbers, get them 250, 300 people watching at a time. The Lee numbers from Drum Dumps, 150, 200, Dave, I'm just rinky dink, man. I'm nothing compared to them. They know a hell of a lot more about this stuff than I do. I'm like the Joker in The Dark Knight. I just do things because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But it's still fun. Still fun. Love the interactions. Can't wait to be back on here. Chad messaged me right now. Let's see what he says. I don't know. But she'll be back here next week, either Wednesday or Thursday. Look forward to that. If anybody doesn't have any other questions, please like the video. And if you happen to be new here after the fact, please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow this thing to what I want to be. I'm on the road to 5,000 subscribers. It's going up at a slow pace. It's making its way there. I'm trying and pushing. So anything you guys can do, like, share, subscribe, anything at all would really, really help me get this channel to 5,000 subscribers. Love every single one of you guys. And I will see you in the next one. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe something cool. I don't know. Love you guys.